There is a place unseen by Metro players and forgotten by old school players. This place that is hidden between what is playable and what is not. A place lost. Here, in this place, there is a middle ground between fun and competitive. This place we now enter, it begins at the pit of a Yu-Gi-Oh player's ability to read and at the summit of their ability to net deck. This is a place that needs a lot of thought. This is the Rogue Zone. Hello fellow Rogue duelists, it's Ronnie the Rogue Man Stano here with another Rogue deck profile. Going to be talking about, Generators once more. So post Banlist, I always told myself that if this card ever went to 2 or 3 in any capacity, I even told the guys in the Discord that if they did so, I'll be building a full dedicated fairy version of Generator, right? So right now, fairy build is the best build. That's correct. As you can tell by the thumbnail, Diviner has now dethroned Sunseed Loci as the best normal summon. So I'm just going to hop into the deck profile, show you the replays of what the deck is trying to accomplish, and so on and so forth. Recently, my area had a new ban list, a new format, event that we won. Pretty cool. So the deck is pretty spicy, if I do say so myself. Really love it. Let's just hop right into it, right? Let's go. Alright, so for the deck profile, we have 3 copies of the boss stage, 1 Har, 1 Utgarda, 1 Mordel, 2 Lopter, 2 copies of Vala, 3 copies of the monstrosity, right? With this build specifically, I think it's a lot more easier to resolve monstrosity than it is in any other build, really. So 1 copy of Boss Quest, that's the ratios for the Generators, pretty standard, nothing too crazy, right? For our generic fairies, we have 1 Buten, 1 Trias, the card that made this all possible in the first place. 2 copies of Orange Light. Honestly, if Orange Light wasn't that tool, I wouldn't play this deck out of fear of Nibiru, but this format, I'm not really too sure how Nibiru is going to be, fearing, seeing as how the best deck in the room is going to be just making a Rise Out pass. 3 copies of Diviner, the best normal summon in the deck, as you can tell by the thumbnail. Diviner has officially dethroned Sunseed Loci as the best normal summon. Diviner is now the best normal summon. Look at her. She's captain now. For the agents, we play 1 Sanctuary in the Sky. It's basically a combo piece mostly. 2 copies of Sacred Waters to search Neptune, and Earth can search Neptune or the Venus or the Destruction to house Neptune as the honor extender. 1 Majesties, and the targets for the creation and destruction, the Shine Balls. This deck could easily be played at 40 cards, but due to the fact that we're playing these 3 normal monsters, I kinda wanna play like 45, 46, 50 maybe to hide those bricks from being in my hand, right? For our hand traps, we play 3 Ogre, 3 Imperm, and 3 Ash. Pretty standard stuff. The format hasn't really formed itself out yet for us to know what is good, what is bad. As I suspect, the best deck will be just making a Rise Out pass. So I feel as if the hitting of the what's that color card again? The Birth will be a lot more crucial now. The hitting of the Wakahashi or the Big Benkai will be a lot more crucial now, seeing as so they don't have their Scarecrow. So I think that Ogre might be a bit better. Imperm is Imperm, it trades 1 for 1 with the Rise Out pass. Ash for Branded Fusion and stuff like that, right? The Labyrinth cards, French Labyrinth and stuff like that will be more popular. And for that same reason, in our side deck, we play 1 copy of the Concentrated Light, no dark monsters. We don't really need to summon Har to win the game, but they need to play all their dark monsters to even have a chance to be in the game. So we play 1 Concentrated Light for that specific reason, to summon off of Diviner easily. 1 copy of Twin Twister, 1 Harpies for the Luster, and 3 evenly matched for back row decks. Labyrinth, as I said before, might be a big contender. Maybe Trap Chicks also. 3 Anti-Spell, 3 Nibiru, and 3 Kaijus, right? So the Kaijus will be most likely for the Pearly decks if they're still around, level 9 and all that jazz. For the extra deck, we play 1 copy of Gander, 1 copy of Lave, 1 Krakosaur, 1 Axel, 1 Dissipator, Pluto, Ancient Fairy Dragon, Cupid Pitch, Synchroperion, and 1 copy of Moon, Harshath, Appaloosa, Sayuja, and some normal monster links, which is Link Spider and Amduk. And this is also why I'm saying that with the banning of what's it called again, Mindhacker, this deck doesn't have to really worry about its combo pieces being buried off the bat. and you can't play the game. So the only thing we can worry about in this build is bestials, but depending on what we're starting with, we can play around bestials, so it's not really that much of a big deal, thankfully. So yeah, that's pretty much the build, and we're going to show off what the deck is trying to accomplish with the replays. So for the first replay, bare bones, we have one card combo, which is starting with Venus, and what Venus can accomplish on our own, right? So normal summon the Venus, summon out the balls, link Spider into Amduk, make all of those into Saryuja. Keep in mind you're starting with 5 cards, but I'm just playing it like, that one card in hand. Draw 4 cards. Alright, so we draw 4 cards, and in this case we find Ogre, Field Spell, and Odgarda and a Diviner. Once again, I'm playing as if I'm only having the one card in hand. So we just go ahead and special summon out the Diviner from hand. Dump the Trias Tribute, special summon the effect of the Herald in Graveyard, summon out Buten. That's 1 on 9, make 10, make the Synchro Majesties, right? Masterful, I should say. Dump a copy of Destruction to copy her effect to summon the balls from the graveyard. Right, and then from there we make one of them a tuner. So this is more of a prototype type of combo, because at the time I was playing Quandance in the extra deck for reasons I'll be showing shortly. So Cupid Pitch and Quandance, Cupid Pitch and the ball, 2 on 2, make a 4, which is Quandance, effect of her in graveyard to add a copy of a monster with 600 defense, which Neptune happens to be. Special a copy, also those should be bottom of the deck, keep on forgetting. Summon out back the copy of the Venus. Venus's effect is not once per turn, and then we can go ahead and bring out 2 more of the balls. And then 3 and 2 make 5, and 4 make 9. So from there we can go ahead and make Appaloosa and make a copy of the right. And let's say in this case, for example, we had access to Monstrosity, we could go ahead and bring out a copy of Mardell and a copy of Vala for follow-up, add Field Spell, make a lay for 3, activate Field Spell, pass. So from here we have Appaloosa for 2, a Banish, and a lay for 3, and summoning out Har for a Omnigate, and also the Ogre in hand, which this has nothing to do with our opening 5 cards. This was a 1 card combo. So yeah, we got all of that off of 1 card. Pretty crazy, right? And the follow-up would be insane, because we have the Vala, we have the this to make more bodies on field to make more plays. On to the next one. So we have, instead of normal summoning the copy of the the Venus, we can just normal summon a copy of Diviner instead. So pretty much the same, which is just going from that into Bootin into that play, making the Hyperion, summon out 3 normal monsters, but this time we want to link up into our plays, right? Add Field Spell, link off all of those into Appaloosa. So at minimum, you should be able to end on a copy of Appaloosa 3 and a Banish at minimum, with decent follow-up in the graveyard, right? Next one. This is the normal summon Diviner once again, but this is what I'll believe will be the most optimal standard play that was going to be made with normal summoning of Diviner. Let's get into it. You pretty much know it goes from here with the Bootin combo. Dump, get 3 bodies, make that into a token. But this time we're making Axel Synchron by increasing the level of the Cupid Pitch instead of decreasing it. Add a copy of the Neptune. Make a copy of Dissipator. Dissipator, summon back a copy of the Trias. So with Dissipator we can always be recurring our resources, which is just insane, to be honest. Summon back a copy of the it could be any fairy, to be honest. Any fairy you have access to in the graveyard or in your hand. Link those two off into a copy of the Moon. Moon dump Majesties. Majesties banish the Neptune. Neptune's effect to add a field spell. Once it's banished. Link those three off into a copy of the Parshath. So from here, so Parshath says you could discard one card and add one card that mentions Sanctuary in the Sky or Sanctuary in the Sky itself. But if you already control Sanctuary in the Sky, you can add any fairy. Alright, so in this case we'd have activated this, which we should have done. Discard one card, add a copy of Destruction. Destruction banish her counterpart to special summon 2 tokens from the graveyard. Synchro those off into a copy of the Pluto. Pluto happens to be a tuner and level 2 to make put those bottom of the deck. Ancient Fairy Dragon, pop a copy of a field spell to add a field spell. And then from here we can just summon more Shrine Balls out to make a copy of Appaloosa once more, right? And then from there on the opponent's turn we make the Omni Negate. So here we have the negate or pop, Appaloosa for 3, Omni Negate, banish, and we have Trias in graveyard to tribute our spent Appaloosa and our spent Hyperion to go ahead and draw 2 and pop a card. So being Darkholder no more is pretty much fine because we'll have cards in hand, whether it be hand traps, and we'll have this in graveyard to make plays and so on and so forth. Put back, Booten to pop a card, banish a card. So you see how basically the loop, a loop is constantly formed with Hyperion and Patter, because you can banish any of your fairies and just recur them on the following turn. Draw 2. And then on the following up turn, summon out this card, dump a copy of Vala, and then from there just make our plays to end the game. On to the next combo. So for this combo, I'm going to be showing a bit of a route you could take instead of making the Dissipator route, right? So let's say we have access to Creation and Diviner, or Destruction and Diviner, or in this case Creation and Destruction, and this is, let's say, game 2 and 3. We want to go ahead and dig for those side deck cards. This is a good way to do it. We're going to just go through the Sayuja play. Draw 4. Doesn't really matter what we draw here. Once again we're searching for extra deck cards, right? Banish, special summon out the tokens. So 2 and 3, that's 5, and 2, that's 7, and 2, that's 9. So synchro all of those off into the Croco Dragon and draw 3 cards. So we just dig through our cards dig through our deck for 7 cards, which could have been anything. So that's a line of play I think you should be aware of when you're playing this deck, right? Which I think is pretty crazy. And also Croco Dragon on its own in itself is a interruption, right? And also we drew another copy of the Venus, which these should be at the bottom of the deck. I keep on forgetting. So we could have used Sayuja's effect to reborn the creation from our hand and then made more bodies on field to do more insane plays, whatever you may have seen fit. But yeah, that is pretty much the deck and what it's trying to accomplish. Maybe on the next video I'll be showing you it up against the new format and so on and so forth. But yeah, the deck looking pretty toasty, if I do say so myself. But that's pretty much it. I want to say thanks my Roguesters for tuning in. Thanks for watching. Keep safe. The Rogue Man out.